Alright, let's battle some allies. I would like to play first. And I'd like to keep this one. This is a very nice aggressive start. 4 lands, maybe one more than we'd like, but willing to put up with it. Had a free blade out. Followed up by a survivalist, then a battle singer, and then hopefully some more good stuff. Bloodstained Mire. Are we getting Thoughtseize or Inquisition? Because that would not be ideal. I think that might be what's happening. Fortunately, we have 2 2-drops. Oh, okay, we're just getting bolted. Fair enough. Come on, non-land card. That's not what we were hoping for. Well, this is going to be a matchup, I think, where we're going to want Collected Company. First guess is our opponent's on, either Jund or Mardu, one of those two. This does not. White Bordered Swamp. You say this doesn't actually clear up which of those he's on. But if he has another removal spell, if this is a Terminator or something, then he has a Liliana, we're going to be in trouble. Just another Bolt. Alright, come on, something good. It's rather unfortunate. I mean, I guess there's no reason not to, right? If he had Liliana, I guess we would get in for 1 or 2 on it if he tapped out for it. Whereas in this case, he can kill our guy. So, maybe it's worth it. But if he were to just play something else, items, you'd only play around Liliana so much. I mean, it's going to be hard to play around all these lands if we don't draw something good. Okay. I don't know how to respond to that. I was like, oh, 3 mana. Here comes Liliana. No, Master of the Feast. 5/5 flyer. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent draws a card. I mean, it will beat us down, but it might also draw us out of this mana flood. What do we want? I guess we want this one. Alright. Come on, non-land card. Collected Company, please. Collected Company? Maybe? Okay. Dromoka's Company is nice. It's sort of not ideal in this moment. This will not be killing this. I would like to draw a card, though. It's I would have rather drawn these in the other order, but it's still a nice draw. What do you possibly follow up with the Dark Confidant? Okay. You gonna tap out? Goyf? All the Dark Confidants? And he just wants everybody to draw cards. He's just a bro like that. I won't block. 14. I mean, this is nice of him, right? If he's going to draw cards, he wants us to draw cards too. Okay, so let's think this one through here. Blade Master, hold up the Dromoka's command to eat one of these guys, in all likelihood. No, Urborg, thanks. I could play the Battle Singer here. That seems not worth, though. Not when we can Dromoka's command. I'm going to attack and hope that he decides that he doesn't need 2 Dark Confidants and trades 1. And I'll just let him trade 1, that's fine. And then I will fight the other one dead. We'll see just how ham he wants to go with this thing if he decides to keep attacking. Okay. So we want to put a counter on this guy. make sure I did this right. Gosh, tap right, first step. Okay. And fight. Okay, so counter, fight. And pass. So we may, depending on what he has, of course, we may be in a position to race this Master of the Feast. Okay, well now we're in a racing position. Bloodstained Mire. They never ever take damage. Ever. Means he drew a land though. Alright, this is going to be important. What is it? It is a Blood Gas. I have absolutely no clue what our opponent is playing. But there's 2 Masters of the Feast involved, and that's kind of a problem. This guy's going to be a first striking 5/5 though, and he's actually going to be like first striking 7/5. And this guy he's going to be bigger than, I mean, we're going to have a very large board on this turn. Ally. What's more important here? I guess getting our survivalist makes the most important, rather than maximizing triggers, because he's going to be chump blocking this thing anyways. We don't have any trample or anything, so. Let's make sure we can do this. There's red, here's green. Yeah, we're good. Maybe I should. We might be. I think we're dead. Like, as huge as our board is, I think he's going to be able to chump block here. Now, maybe I was supposed to play the Battle Singers first. I think I might have messed up the math here. I didn't think it all the way through. I think I might have supposed to play the Battle Singers first so that the Battle Singers would be lethal and force a block. I may have screwed that up. He's going to be guaranteed chump blocking this one. We might be able to get away with it anyways. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like we probably will be able to get away with this anyways, but... Oh, yep, okay, so... That's a lot of damage we just put onto the board. Let's see how it plays out. See, I messed up though. See, if I had played the Battle Singers first, and this guy would be a 5/1 and have the ability to trade there, but I messed that up. In exchange for having a slightly bigger survivalist, which could be relevant on the next turn. There was just a lot of math. I should have worked through it all. But this is at least where he realizes he has to. I guess actually we're lucky it doesn't matter, right? Because this happened to be exactly 13. So no, I obviously did the math perfectly in my head and planned it. But I could have had another like 3 damage, and he's at 3 life. I think I could have killed him here if I had done math better. It's going to be hard for him to kill us. I mean, we take 5. He'd have to have double bolt or something, but that doesn't mean that I didn't mess up. Complicated math doesn't mean you shouldn't do math. Arena? What? Tap target creature you control. Okay. I don't know if this guy's deck is spicy or not, but I can safely say I have actually literally never played against this card in Modern, and I've played a lot of Modern. It's one of those you look at it, I didn't even know this was legal. I mean, it doesn't actually make mana unless you have Urborg. Yeah. Hasty Blood Gas. Not enough, friend. Not enough. What an odd game. That's for sure. An odd game. He's got a fight up if he wanted. He is declining to fight. Therefore, he is dead. We even drew an ally encampment, so I think we can sort of go for... I I mean, he's not scooping to onboard lethal, so let's go ahead and make our guys as big as possible. I can use the encampment to, there we go. I can use the encampment to pick up the Battle Singer and replay the Battle Singer for another trigger. All right, so we're going to go sideboarding against this very interesting Jund deck. Don't know any other way to describe it. I know that I don't know how to sideboard against it. We sort of lucked out that game with 3 Akun Battle Singers, but we drew 3 Akun Battle Singers because he played 2 Master of the Feast. So, I'm trying to think if we want returning against the ranks because we did see removal. That's sort of the question here. I don't think we do. If anything, I want Gideon. But I actually think we don't want to sideboard. I mean, no, we don't. Master of the Feast, Dark Confidants. Get a Gideon in here. Or get the mantle out. I mean, I sort of want access to a Gideon. I don't know what to board out here. I mean, this is not a deck you're used to seeing, but this hand is pretty sweet. 2 drops, 3 drops company. Perfect mana as always because we're playing Ally Encampment. And what's the best thing about this card is, you know, this is not a budget build of the deck. We're playing 4 Collected Companies. We're playing a Fetchland, Shockland mana base. But if you do put this together in budget form, which is something I plan on doing in the future, maybe after Collected Company rotates out and is a reasonable price, because I think that's probably a really key card to the deck. But Ally Encampment is like a $2 card, and it's just so insanely good. And now he's on a Birds of Paradise. Huh, okay. Interesting. But yeah, Ally Encampment is just so good, and it's so cheap. Same with Sliverhive. These decks, the optimal builds of them may not be budget completely, or they may not be, you know, very high tier decks all the way. But you can certainly get a long way with lands like this and Sliverhive. Okay, well, back to this game. Let's get the Survivalist train going. Our opponent had a pretty nice start in that he had a mana ramp into a Dark Confidant. However, he only has 1 land and mulliganed several times, so he will be drawing cards. A Birds of Paradise. Okay, that's probably pretty good for him. He's going to be trying to draw out of this. He's certainly going to have some big stuff at the top end, but we're sort of, I mean, we're on track over here. So the question here is if I want to play Lantern Scout, Evangel, or Survivalist to make it bigger over the long game, because we have to manage the counters on it. We have the Bushwhacker and the Company. I think I'm going to be mana efficient here and play the Evangel. Maybe the Scout's better. We can attack this turn no matter what we do. I'm going to play the Scout. The reason I thought about the Evangel is because when we Company, it gives us protection rather than lifelink, but this puts the most onto the board. Yeah, just in terms of power, obviously, it's a 3-2 instead of a 2-3. But we'll have this at some point later. Let's go ahead and get the power onto the field. We have plenty of life. We're not really in that. We have multiple overrun sort of effects in the Evangel and the Bushwhacker. Overrun in the sense that we just get to ignore his team. So I think playing Lantern Scout here, just getting some life, putting a threat onto the board is good. Maximize our damage this turn, because next turn we're going to be Companying almost certainly. I could play the Survivalist and the Bushwhacker, but I think it's better to Company and then save the Survivalist Bushwhacker after that, because that's sort of the most, I mean, that's the guaranteed haste damage. Alright, that guy's down. That's fine. So our opponent is playing red, white, green, black. We have not seen a Goyf yet. I can't say I fully understand. Alright, so he did not offer this trade. So something tells me he will not be taking the trade now. I don't feel the need to gain 3 life by main face company, and I'd rather pass. Maybe he points a removal spell at it and we get to try to company and do a Kabira Evangel. And we're playing against this Dark Confidant. It's going to be rough, but our hand is also very good. He's ahead on mana by quite a bit, but company, in theory, is going to catch us up and then allow us to Akun Battle Singer Bushwhack or something next turn for a bunch of damage. He's shocking himself down to 13. 4 black mana. Alright. We're playing 4 color Phyrexian Obliterator. Okay. Count me obliterated, I guess. I mean, depending on what we hit off this company, he's just dead, though. Because we can just play the Evangel and ignore the Obliterator. It's actually not very good against us at all. Although it is a sweet card in general. Huh? Not the absolute best, but pretty good. Always yes. Always yield. Well, so do we have lethal here? Probably, right? If we hit a land, which we did, obviously. Alright, so we will Bushwhack. I'm sorry, a Battle Singer. And then Kabir Evangel protection from black. Get in for lethal. Alright. Swing in for a billion. Certainly 13. Pro black. Attack for 10, 14, 19 damage that he cannot block. So unless that last card is a fog, which would be about on theme for the cards he's played so far in this match, and that I have no idea what to expect, he's quite dead. Yep, okay. His deck was certainly very interesting. Turboing out Phyrexian Obliterator off Birds of Paradise is kind of nice, but Allies takes it.